Good evening. Good afternoon, y'all. Welcome to Let's Talk Sports, y'all. And we're gonna keep it short and sweet today. How everybody doing today? What up? You know what I mean? And hate the fact that we even got to talk. I mean, it's a fight that we got to talk about, but it ain't from boxing. You know what I mean? You know, I think the internet is completely broken and shattered from the news of what took place at the Oscars last night with Will and Chris Rock. So I already hit up my boys over there, Celebrity Championship Boxing, and told them, go ahead and set that up, man. You know, Will gotta let that man run that back. You know what I mean? Will gotta let that man run that back. But truthfully and honest though, man, just short and sweet on that topic, man. It kind of, you know, I didn't like seeing, you know, two of our OGs. You know, you talking about two guys that been in the industry 30, 40 years. You know, I didn't want to see my OGs doing that, man. You know what I mean? What up, Smoke? Come on, man. Why I gotta be fake, man? Why I gotta be fake, Smoke? You know what I mean? Hold tight. I'm gonna send you a link in a minute, but man, truth be told, man, like I said, I don't know if it's fake though. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, it said but one thing we did find out, they said the brothers got together last night. You know, all the brothers that was in the building, Tyler Perry, Denzel, and all, they said the brothers got the brothers together to, you know, make sure that it didn't go no further than that, and you know, we can move on. So I mean, I hope. I mean, it's a bad look either way. Real or fake is a bad look because, like I said, that's two of our OGs. Now let's move on to boxing because that's what we do. We gonna move on to boxing. You know, that was a scene for one of Will's movies. I don't know, man, because like I said, you know, with everything that was going on, the people that came in the building just because they thought he might win an award for the movie he played, you know, he had some certain people in the building that was just there just for that. So I will hope they wouldn't, you know, try to tarnish that moment. So, but we're going to move on. Bud Crawford is a potential deal that's being mentioned, and I mean, and I say potential. I'm not, because I don't never want to come on here and say something is definite. Say something is definite until they actually, put the ink on the paper and it's official. So Bud Crawford is potentially signing with PBC on a 2-fight deal with a third with an option. Basically, if things go well with the first 2 fights, he may opt to do a third fight, but if not, he can opt out. But but it's supposed to be right now in the pipeline is setting up for him to fight Keith Thurman, and then the winner of Uga Spence, and which we all hope is Earl Spence. And hopefully and then what's to set up the climax at the end of the year or the beginning of next year for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world against the 2 best welterweights in the world. That's what we're hoping to see. And I mean, that right there will be that should be good news for all boxing fans, to let you know that they at least are potentially trying to work on getting to the nitty gritty and getting things on the right track where we needed to be for the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? Count me out of that one. Count you out of what one though? Count you out of what one, Smoke? What you talking about? What you talking about, Smoke? Count you out of what one? Count you out on what one, man? Talk to me. You know what I mean? Talk to me. Count you out of which one? I'm gonna send you the link in a minute, but keep chopping it up with me. Count you out of what though? What we counting out? Going for Spence? You ain't going for. Oh, you mean against Ugas? Because you picking Bud to beat Spence. You picking Bud to beat Spence if they fight. So you mean you hope you going for Spence against Ugas? That's what you're saying, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, they saying, look, I listen. I like the idea. A lot of people are complaining about a potential fight between Bud and Keith Thurman before they fight. Before him fighting the winner of Ugas and Spence. But hey, man, I like that fight. I think that make the fight even bigger, especially if he go out there and really do the thing to Keith Thurman. But like I tell everybody, even if Keith Thurman pull it off, I don't predict that. But if Keith Thurman was to pull it off, that's not bad for boxing. Everybody get hung up on certain fights, but like this fight gotta happen. He gonna spank Ugas and Bud gonna spank him. That's what's up. That's what's up. I don't have a problem with that. But like, let's say Keith did pull it off. All right, so what? At the end of the year, now I know what would be crazy though. Imagine if it came down, these 2 fights happen, and you look up and it's Ugas and Thurman fight for the undisputed. Hey, how mad would we be? Well, I mean, real talk. Like, would we still want to see the fight? Would we be mad? Well, or like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because we didn't get the climax that we wanted. But how would you feel if Thurman beat Bud and Ugas beat Spence? Would we be cool with it? Because see, this is when we find out how much of a fan you really are of the sport. Are you a fan of the fighter? See, look what you just said. See, now we got to check our fan card. Because if that happened, then it's still the 2 best welterweights fighting for undisputed, right? That's how I feel about it. It's still the 2 best welterweights fighting for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. You know what I'm saying? But let me. Matter of fact, what's your email? What's your email, Smoke? What's your email? I send a link to your email. That way I ain't gotta flip through sites to get to your Instagram. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be, of course. It definitely brings a big dimmer. It ain't the mega fight we wanted. It ain't the generational fight we wanted. And I can hear the moans and groans now. See what happened? See what happened when fights don't happen when they supposed to. Now they both lost and we can't get our fight. Nah, it happens. You know what I mean? It happens. You know what I mean? Just because I won't see the fight I want to see, but no hate on Ugas, no one time. Yeah, they not. I mean, but let's be real. The odds of that happening is slim to none. Bud gonna spank Keith Thurman, with no disrespect to him. And I got Earl putting on a clinic against Ugas, and then later on this year, December 2022, everybody can get all the complaints out the way because the fight we want to see is here. It's going to happen. Bud versus Spence, and it's going down. And we're gonna spend half the year debating on who going to win and who not, and who deserve it, and who going to get knocked out. Everybody prediction going to change 5 times before the fight happens, but it's going down this year. It's going down this year. You know what I mean? And speaking of that going down, man, we got an awesome month of boxing coming up. What's your email address, Smoke? We got an awesome month a month of boxing coming up. I mean, you name it, it's going down. Like, from April 2nd to April 30th, we got nothing but nonstop action in terms of fighters. You know what I mean? Like, Savannah Marshall, she's fighting on the zone. Who's the potential? If she wins that fight, she gets Clarissa Shields. You know what I mean? The next week you got Jaleel Hackett, DMV, boxing the DC, stand up. You know what I mean? Because we got DMV's own Jaleel Hackett. He's in the ring on the 9th. You got Erickson Lubin. He's in the ring on April the 9th. Michaela Mayer, she's in the ring on April the 9th. And, we looking for her to win so she can get it on with Alicia Baumgartner. You know what I mean? Then we move on to, the April 16th, we know what's going down then. Earl Spence versus Ugas. Followed by a week later, you got Tyson Fury versus Dylan White. And then you close the month out with Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez and the epic women battle between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. So boxing fans, man, dig in. We got an entire month of nothing but action. You know what I mean? Fight after fight after fight after fight. I bet not hear one boxing play. You could complain in May. You can complain in May. You can complain for a couple more days in March. But in April, we got a gauntlet. We got a feast of fights coming up. I don't want to hear no boxing plan complaining. Matter of fact, don't even bring up Spencer and Bud Crawford till after April 16th. After April 16th. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, while we in here, check out my man. He commenting in the comments right now. My man Smoke With Me TV. He got a podcast, boxing podcast on YouTube, interviewing top fighters. Shout out to the Black Eye Media Room, people that we work with over here that do the Let's Talk Sports show. Also TNT Logistics. Also Punch by Punch Boxing Room on Clubhouse. And we on Clubhouse on the regular, talking to all the fighters. You know what I mean? And we working to get them over here to our channels. But yeah, every day we talk to different fighters on Clubhouse as well. Keeping it moving. Of these fights that's coming up in April, talk to me in the comment section. What fight are y'all looking forward to the most? You know what I mean? It's so many. Like I said, you got a feast. I know the fight that I know just about everybody. The Ugas Spence fight is gonna shut down everything. I know everybody gonna stop what they're doing that night and watch that fight. Because that fight right there, it's got a lot riding on it. You know what I mean? Because Bud is, like I said, Bud said on the Twitter Spaces and on Clubhouse, Bo Mack came on and said Bud is looking to get back in the ring in June. So it looks like he wants to fight before he fights the winner of Ugas and what's the name. And they say it's a potential deal with PBC, and that fighter he may fight in June is potentially and more than likely to be Keith Thurman. But a lot, like I said, I know a lot rides on what goes on between Earl and Ugas, which I see. Which let's touch that fight right there. I think looking at Earl sparring and looking how he's looking at sparring and looking how strong he looks and how powerful he looks and how polished he looks, I think Ugas in for a very bad night. I just do. I just think Ugas looking for a very bad night, and I think he's fighting Earl Spence at the exact wrong time to be fighting him. You know what I mean? Smoke, give me your email address if you want to come up. Like I say, it's the exact wrong time for him to be facing Ugas. Bad time to face Ugas. Speaking of Shakur Stevenson Valdez is a very big fight. It's a lot of fights coming up that's going to reshape and reset. It's going to set up the back half of the year, but also going to reshape our pound for pound list. But speaking of Shakur Stevenson, Valdez, who knocked out Miguel Berchelt not too long ago, who this weekend Berchelt got stopped again on ESPN. You know what I mean? I don't want to pronounce the guy's right name. I want to say Navarrete, Natataki, something close to that. But it's the same guy that Shakur Stevenson just fought prior to fighting Jamel Herring. And like I said, he stopped Oscar Valdez. I mean, Miguel Berchelt. He stopped Miguel Berchelt in the 6th round, and it was getting brutal out there. You know, also Costa Zoo's son, Tim Zoo, fought Terrell Goucher this weekend, and he got dropped in the 1st round, but got up and, you know, rallied and get himself together in order to get a W. So that too went on. So like I said, man, boxing is progressing. We got, like I said, we have a buffet in the month of April. It's a buffet in the month of April. So like I said, if you want to see some good fights now, let me see. I ain't gonna lie. I think the women's fight is gonna be the women's fights in the month of April gonna give the men's fight a run for the money. A real run for the money. Actually, and then on the April 30th to close out the month, you got 2 major fights going on at the same time. And we have a huge debate going on. Which fight is bigger? Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez or Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano? And I'm not gonna lie to you fellas. I believe Serrano, Katie Taylor is the bigger fight. No disrespect to Shakur or Oscar Valdez. Love Shakur. Love that fight, and at the same time, if they ask me if I had to pick between 2, yes, I'm going to pick Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. But now you're fixing the fight. But I'm going to find a way to fight. You know, if I got to record one and watch the other, I got to see that Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fight. It is major. It is major. It's the biggest right now. It's the biggest fights in women's boxing history. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. You know, we need for Clarissa to fight Savannah Marshall, and that'll be an epic fight. But I don't know if it's gonna get up to Serrano, Katie Taylor. You know, Serrano, Katie Taylor is like it's dead. Is it? It's gonna shape whoever win that fight is the face of women's boxing. Regardless of how mad however people want to like the party, the face of women's boxing. All right, moving on. We're going to touch this topic. It's a rumor going around, but not a rumor. It's a tweet that's out there that suggests that Tank is leaving the money team after the Rolly fight. And my question that I posed today to a lot of people on our spaces today on Twitter and also in Clubhouse is, what does that mean for boxing, though? What does that mean for Tank, and what does that mean for boxing? You know what I mean? Now we all people complain. Oh, he's not fighting nobody. He's not fighting this. He's not fighting that. But my question I pose to everybody is, and I'm not no Tank apologist, and I'm not taking up for nothing to do with them. You know what I mean? But what are the other guys doing? You know what I mean? Let's take him out the equation for a minute. Who are these other guys fighting? Like, who is Ryan Garcia for? You know what I mean? We're just now getting Devin Haney and Kambosos, and that's only because Lomachenko decided he wanted to defend his country and not fight. You know what I mean? And that's why he got that fight. But then, so Lomachenko's out the equation, and Teofimo's moving on. Like, that whole division is just a train wreck, and it's been a train wreck all year. So, what exactly was Tank supposed to do? You know what I mean? Because I mean, if they're not fighting him and they're not fighting each other. So I think it's a bigger issue than just what Tank is doing. And I know everybody want to complain and say, well, they're only going to fight fighters in-house and they ain't going to fight. But what are the fighters outside of the house doing? You know what I mean? If they're not dancing, why am I giving you an invitation? Why am I playing the music so you can get on the dance floor if you're not dancing? I'm just saying, I'm not taking up for Tank or his team or whatnot, but I just want to know, let's be fair and consistent across the board. What are any of them fighters at 135 doing? You know what I mean? Like, speaking of Devin and Kambosos, look, I mean, if y'all really when y'all found out the particulars of the deal that Devin Haney had to give up to even get that Kambosos fight, it was crazy. They really did everything in their power. Not they gave that boy that opportunity. He just took what gave. So I'm gonna give Devin Haney his flowers. I'm gonna give Devin Haney his flowers and his roses right now because, like I said, that deal that he got is a horrible deal. But he's doing what he got to do in order to get the fight, and he's doing what he got to do in order to get that undisputed belt. So shout out to him. But he got a tall order. You know what I mean? Like, he's got. If he wins the fight against Kambosos, he has to run it back in Kambosos' backyard. So basically, he got to go over there and win 2 fights in this man's backyard. So that means he got to go over there and literally put on 2 virtuoso performances or get a stoppage in order to win 2 fights in somebody else's backyard. You know what I mean? That's if he wins that's if they allow him to win the first one. So like he almost got to knock out. He got to win just about every round or knock Kambosos out in order to win in Australia. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I give you the credit and all the credit in the world because he's damned to be great. Yeah, he might need a KO. Like I said, I give him all the credit in the world. All the credit in the world. Like all y'all out here, I have no bad words to say about Devin Haney. Nothing. Because listen, honestly, these deals shouldn't have been made like that. They shouldn't have put him in that predicament, but at the same time, you got to give the boy credit because he's daring to be great. He is daring to be great. Shout out to Bill Haney. Shout out to Devin Haney because, like I said, I know many fighters will like, especially with the right representation, will be like, I'm not taking that deal. I'm not taking that deal. That deal is literally crazy. You know what I mean? I gotta literally win in order to come out of there unscathed. I gotta win 2 fights in spectacular fashion in somebody else's backyard. You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot. And if he wins both of them, he got to fight a fighter on that particular network too. So he's a lot. He either can fight 1 fight messing with them or fight 3 all on the same banner. So, you know, I don't know many people would do that, man. I don't know many people would do that, but he did it. So we'll see how they do it. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That might be a little bit much. I think Kambosos is gonna give him a run for his money, and that's what he can't afford. You know what I mean? That's what he can't afford. I think Kambosos is gonna give him a run for his money. I think that boy Kambosos is a little bit wiry, and he come to fight. Now, granted, we can make all the argument. You know, Teofimo Sr. recently said that, you know, Teofimo Jr. didn't have his lungs. He couldn't breathe right when the fight happened. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's his father. That's his, you know, trainer. But at the same time, why would you send your fight out there he can't breathe? That's your son. You know, your business. You know what I mean? They trying to line Devin up. I mean, at the same time, yeah, in the way they are, but at the same time, I think Devin's daring to be great. Devin's daring to be great, and they're using that to their advantage. Because, like I said, they definitely fixed the fight. They definitely fixed the fight. Like I said, he got to fight. If he got to go to Australia, beat George Kambosos. If he wins, he got to run it back in Australia. And if he wins that fight too, he got to fight another fighter on the roster of George Kambosos. So probably what you'll see is if he wins both fights, he got to fight Loma or somebody that's in that pipeline. So that's his gauntlet. So they basically, like I said, Devin Haney could be over there for 1 fight or he could be over there for 2 or 3 fights. But like I said, the deal he had to give up to get that fight was to fight Kambosos in Australia. If he wins, to go back to Australia. And there's a lot of other stuff going on. Like he can't, only certain people can make the trip. I think they kind of, he has to have a selected, sparring partner. Like it's a lot they doing to make sure they try to keep this young boy from winning the fight. So salute to him. Salute to him for taking the Pepsi challenge. Salute to him for manning up and saying, I'm going to do whatever to try to be great and all that. But the boxing politics is real. You know what I mean? The boxing politics is real, and folks, and actually, for those that don't know, you know, we got social media now, and we got ways of, you know, putting stuff out there. But these type of political things been going on for 30, 40 years. Boxing always been political. You know, boxing always had fights that took forever. Boxing always had fights that didn't happen. Things like that. But yes, like I said, Devin signed a crazy deal. You know, but like I said, he's there to be great. But which I think it might be a little bit much because I think Kambosos can rumble. I think Kambosos can roll. Kambosos can roll. Because one thing I noticed about in that fight with Teofimo is that every time he got knocked down or every time he got hurt or every time Teofimo was throwing them bombs, he was throwing with them. You know what I'm saying? He was rolling with it. You know what I mean? Teofimo landed a big shot, he come back, he was letting his hands fly. And I don't know if that bodes well for Devin. You know what I mean? Because Devin is not a big puncher, not nowhere near the puncher that Teofimo is. You know, so but I believe Devin is a better boxer, and Devin has the boxing ability to outbox whoever that's in the weight classes. But is he going to do that, or is he going to listen to the people in the stands and try to be a banger? And that's what may be to his undoing. Because, like I said, if this fight is close, he's not getting a decision in Australia. He's not, and he's not getting a rematch. So he got to do the thing. He got to do it like no other. Like his training camp better be A1. His training camp better be stellar. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Speaking of Tank, though, we are waiting to hear back. You know, we did correspond with Leonard Ellaby via DM, talk to him, and he's looking to come on Let's Talk Sports, y'all. So you know when hopefully we'll hear from him within the next few days or soon, and we'll bring Leonard Ellaby on here. And we're gonna have your questions ready. We're gonna ask all the questions that you want to hear about what's going on with him, Mayweather Productions, Tank. We're gonna get it all in. You know what I mean? We're looking to do that. You know what I'm saying? Also, we'll be looking for. Like I said, next month is the month. Get ready. Every single week we got fight. You know what I mean? You know, we pretty much got everybody, every top fighter in the ring except for Usyk, Bud, and Canelo. They're the only ones that ain't fighting next month. But everybody else will be in the ring. Earl will be in the ring. Fury will be in the ring. Triple G will be in the ring. In women's boxing, Shakur Stevenson will be in the ring. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, like I said, next month is for boxing fans is a huge buffet of fights. You know what I mean? Nothing but a smorgasbord of fights, and we're all going to get the fights that, we all get the fights that we want to see. Now, in the comment section, what questions y'all got? What fights y'all want to see? What y'all got going on in your boxing live today? You know what I mean? Let's chop it up. Let's talk boxing. Let's talk sports, y'all. What questions y'all got today? What fights y'all want to see? You know what I mean? Anything that y'all want to touch on today. Let me hear from y'all. You know what I mean? Because, we moving. Like I said, we looking to get better. Looking to get some more interviews in here. Like I said, I'm in contact with a lot of fighters on a daily on the clubhouse. We talk to them through the phone and things like that. But just got to line up people's schedules. Schedules got to match, times got to match, and then we get them in there. And like I said, we do got Leonard Ellaby in the pipeline. Also, Gerald Tucker, aka GT, he's in the pipeline as well. He trained Floyd and for a few fights, Adrian Broner, and he's also training Clarissa Shields for her fights, which she's looking to fight. If Savannah Marshall wins her fight next week, then she's fighting Clarissa Shields over there in the UK for a major women's fight as well. For those that don't know, Savannah Marshall is the young lady that beat Clarissa in the here just saying, what's up, fam? Looking forward to EJ fight, though. Charlo Castaño, too. That's what's up, man. What's been up, man? How you been, man? Speaking of that, though, because one of the rumors that people are putting out there was also, Bud said he either want to fight the winner of Ugas and Spence or the winner of Castaño Charlo too, which also was one of the videos people got floating around there. Charlo goes off and says a bunch of things about Bud and this and the third, and he'll knock him out and all that. But folks, people, when y'all look at these videos and people put these videos out there, nothing about the person who put the video together. Y'all got to understand the context of the video. See, he wasn't really necessarily saying he don't want to fight Bud, and he wasn't necessarily coming for Bud. But what he's saying is he doesn't like the fact that people are actually like questioning him, like, are you scared of Bud? Would you fight Bud? And everybody knows how wiry Jermell Charlo is. So when you ask Jermell Charlo questions like, well, would you be the one to fight Bud? Like, what you mean would I fight Bud? And, and because everybody knows, you can say what you want about Jermell Charlo. Dr. Smoke ain't one of the things he do. Whoever was in his in his jurisdiction, he was with it. You know what I mean? When Herb was the unified, he was with it. You know what I mean? He came out here, almost got the pause put on him out here in the DMV, running up on Jared Hurd out here. But again, he was with it. You know what I mean? When the boy Banana beat J Rock, he went straight to him. When Castano got the upset win over Patrick Texor, he went straight to him. So, and when back in the day when it was time to fight Boo Boo Andre, he signed the contract. Nothing you could say about Jermell Charlo. But he was basically just like going off on the reporter for asking him would he fight Bud Crawford, like in making the assumption that, okay, are you scared of him too? So that's what he set him off. Which, if Bud signs a 2-fight deal with PBC, one of the 2 fights off the rip is not going to be the winner Castano Charlo. It's not going to happen. That's not even good business. That's not even good business. And we all know PBC is business oriented. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. You know, especially when I got a generational fight potentially here with Bud and EJ. So, you know, let Ugas fight. Let Ugas fight Earl, and let Bud fight Keith Thurman in June, and then the winners fight like late December, right before Christmas, and that'll be our end of the year closeout climax. Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence for it all, unless somehow, some way, Kiefer Ugas pull off that, which would be breaking a lot of people's heart. But I don't got it happening. EJ looks good in training. For those that, yeah, it's definitely a generational fight. Yeah, it's definitely a generational fight. And you know, I got a couple debates going on Clubhouse, Instagram, and all that, because to me, I know who Canelo is. Canelo is the guy. He is the man, the money man, all that. But to me, if Bud Crawford, when Bud Crawford fight Earl Spence for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world, it would be the first welterweight champion since Zab Judah. You know what I mean? It'll be the first undisputed welterweight champion since Zab Judah, 2 undefeated fighters on the pound-for-pound list, fighting for it all. To me, I don't care what Canelo is, the winner of that fight is the face of boxing. Pert. The winner between Earl Spence, let me put it simple and plain. The winner between Earl Spence and Bud Crawford is the new Floyd. Pert. You know what I'm saying? They are the new Floyd. And the people say, oh my God, they're never going to make them do the face of boxing. They're going to be the face of something. They're going to be the face of nothing. Because I know that fight, when that fight happened late December, I know one thing, it ain't going to be a TV that ain't going to be on that night. You can book that. It ain't going to be a TV not on that night. Now, I ain't even going to get into who I picked to win and all that old stuff, because, I mean, we done it before, but, man, it's like that fight topic come up every day on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Clubhouse. I'm tired of talking about that fight till they get signed. But but like I said, for those that don't know, you know, we keep our ears and we check out the camps. Earl looks good in camp, looks strong. Earl looks good, he looks strong, the eyes great, everything's good. And make it so bad, he's fighting big punches. Earl has spawned some big punches. So, I mean, he's preparing himself for war. What do you mean I'm going for Earl? What do you mean I'm going for Earl, Smoke? What are you talking about, Smoke? What are you talking about, Smoke? But then again, no, cool. You going for Bud. Yeah. Oh, man, you should have been in the clubhouse last night, man. I forgot his name, man. I mean, my man came in there and he talking about how Bud gonna knock out Spence by the 6th round, no later than the 8th round, and all of this kind of stuff, because Bud just this dog. Listen, I'm gonna say this now. I'm a fan of both of them. So when I say certain things, people are like, oh, you hating. I'm not hating. I'm a true fan of Bud Crawford. Love Mama Crawford. Go back and forth with his sister. On Twitter sometimes. I'm cool with the Crawfords. No problem. We cool. They fam. Nothing there. They good. However, some of these so-called diehard blood fans think this man is Superman. He's a man. He bleeds. He gets hit like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So all this, he can't, everybody in the world scared of him. He gonna knock out Charlo. He gonna knock out Earl. He gonna knock out this and that. He might not, if him and Canelo with the same side, he'll knock him out. Stop. One fight at a time. One fight at a time. You know what I'm saying? One fight at a time. Love the dude, but stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest with you. I'll say it again. He's not stopping Earl Spence. He's not. Now, if it happened because he's just that special. He's a generational talent. He's that great of a fighter. So if he pulled it off and won and did all this stuff, that's not shocking. He's great. But also I know that he getting in the ring with another one that's a generational talent. That's great. So don't underestimate that other great fighter. You know what I mean? Just because y'all ain't seen him knock out nobody in a while, don't sleep on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at the style. Stylistically, this is the toughest fight Bud has ever faced. Period. And in the comment section, if you say I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Don't know about Spence, but definitely not messing with Charlo. I'm not saying he can't beat Jamel. I'm saying that it would be stupid. Anybody that's signing a deal right now, if you was handling Bud Crawford, you would be an idiot to bypass everything at 147 to go straight to Jamel. Come on, man. Or let's stay here. The winner of Jamel and Castano. I got Jamel coming out, you know, being. I got Jamel. I got Brian Castano getting that Harrison 2 action. See what I'm saying? I got him being competitive, but I got Jamel landing that shot to get him up out of there. I got him getting Castano out of here. But like I said, why would you do that? It just don't make business sense. You know what I mean? When I can put you in the ring with Keith Thurman, you beat Keith Thurman, and everybody in the world gonna go crazy. Oh my God, he beat Sean Porter. He beat Keith Thurman. Nobody on PBC can beat him. Let's get it. Come on down. Going out Vegas with Earl on December 2022. You know what I'm saying? He's getting knocked out by Spence and Charlo. Okay. I don't know about that. Because see, the thing about these two dudes that's gonna make these fights so compelling is they know when to bang, they know when to box. See what I'm saying? They know when to bang, they know when to box. See, everybody think that stuff that he does against certain fighters, biting down and just coming at them, he know when not to do that. He know when to be cautious. He know when to pick his spots and not just coming there for the kill. He knows. See what I'm saying? It's going to come down to whose fight IQ is really up to par. I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying he won't and can't get knocked out. Oh. I'm not saying he won't and can't get knocked out. Hey, man, that's between y'all two brothers. I'm not saying he won't and can't get knocked out. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he won't and can't get knocked out, but at the same time, I doubt it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, these boys are generational talents. And I don't see that. Once Earl hurt him, he's getting him out of there. That's if he hurt him, though. You know what I'm saying? That's if he hurt him. That, you know what I mean? Let's just say this. Like I said, when you in the ring, when you perceive yourself as the only dog in the ring, or you are the only dog in the ring, you might get the biting. But when you get in the ring and you see there's another one in there with you, you might fight a little bit more conscious. Smoke, when it happens, you got that. Okay. You heard that, Smoke. The man said he signing the contract. You see it. That man said he said when it happens, let's sign the contract. We got receipts. This stays here forever. So it ain't never going nowhere. It stay here forever. But yeah. But like I said, man, don't look. I like the idea of him fighting Keith Thurman. I do not see them jumping past the whole 147-pound division and jumping in the fight with the winner Castaño and Charlo. That just don't make business sense. Sometimes y'all gotta backtrack and think about what make business sense. You know what I mean? That don't make business sense. You know what I mean? We have a whole buffet at 147 for you. Buffet. You know what I mean? So it'll get down. You know what I mean? And for your Boots and his fans, you know, he got Castallo, Clayton, or something like that coming up, and people are looking at that to be a tough fight. I think Boots gonna come out of there. I think Boots gonna look good and sharp and all that, but he gonna have to get in line and wait his turn. Because you know, I certainly don't see them messing up the generational fight by putting him in the mix. So he's gonna just have to fight some contenders in the meantime till after Bud and Errol Spence get this thing together. You know what I mean? And which means they, you know, Bud gonna have to beat Keith. Earl gonna have to beat Ugas. We come together at the end of the year, let that thing happen, and then, you know, we'll see what goes on them. Him fighting Charlo is just talk. Absolutely, it's just talk. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. But, you know, you got the Bud fans out there that's chirping, oh, my God, Charlo is just so scared and he's going to crush Charlo. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But like I said, for those that just tapped in, next month, April, the whole month of April is nothing but a buffet of fights. You got some great women fights, and you got a lot of fighters that, you know, like Triple G's fighting for the first time in like a year and some change against Murata. You know what I mean? And some say that fight might be a little tougher than expected. But one thing for sure, you got to understand that since Triple G already has a pre-fight set up with Canelo, that Murata has to either put on the epic performance or stop him. You know what I mean? So, you know, that remains to be seen. You know what I mean? So that Triple G coming up on April the 9th. You got Michaela Mayer coming up. You got Savannah Marshall coming up, who's, if she wins that fight, she's the next opponent for Carissa Shields. You know what I mean? We got Fury versus Dylan White. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's a lot of mixed emotions about that. You know, it's a lot of people picking Dylan White. You know, it's a lot of people picking Dylan White against Fury. You know what I mean? Look, Wilder fans, PBC fans, all y'all. I know y'all mad, but Dylan White ain't beating no Tyson Fury. Dude gonna put that dude out, and Triple G going to get jerked. What you mean though? You think Triple G gonna lose? You think Triple G gonna lose? I mean, you know, they got the pre-fight set up. They got the pre-fight set up with him and Canelo. So, you know, they ain't gonna mess the bag up. They not messing that bag up. I mean, let you know something. I just can't see them messing that money up for Murata. You know what I'm saying? For Murata. I mean, to me, I'm gonna be honest. The number one reason why I really push back on the idea of the deal with DAZN was the fact that, to me, Triple G is shot. Triple G going to win even. Right. It's going to be like that Josh Taylor fight. Yes, you dead on. It's going to be like that Josh Taylor fight because, man, it's too much riding. You know what I mean? You're talking about a $40-some million fight at the end of the year. You know what I mean? $40-some million payday for him and Canelo. Ain't nowhere in the world they're going to mess that money up. They're gonna let some Murata, and like I said, unless Murata get Triple G out of there, which, you know what? Like I said, to me, Triple G is shot. You know, he looked like trash. He looked like trash against Derevyanchenko. Then he fought Steve Rose, which, dude, I don't know. Steve Rose held his own against Steve Rose handed it, you know, held his own against Edgar Berlanga. And then so I mean, so we might have to give him a little bit of smidge of credit for beating Steve Rose or knocking Steve Rose out. But then he fought some dude we ain't never heard of. And now we waiting to get some change. So now he gonna fight Murata. So we gonna see what Triple G got left in his tank. What Triple G got left in his tank. But like I said, though, he hasn't looked good in a minute. Yeah, he definitely gonna stop him. Yeah, now definitely. Now Canelo knocks Triple G out. This side, you absolutely, you dead on. You know what I mean? You are dead on. You know what I'm saying? Steve won that fight. Yeah. 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 That's the consensus. You know, the overall consensus was that Edgar Berlanga lost that fight. But like I said, so Steve Rose is the best. That's the best fight that Triple G has been in the last couple of years. So that's the best fight he fought in a couple of years. You know what I mean? So that goes to tell you where he's at. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just a money fight. It's a waste of time. It's a true waste of time. That was my number one pushback. That was my number one pushback for that whole deal. Was like, I don't want to see no Triple G fight. I don't want to see that Triple G fight. That Triple G fight is complete waste of time and a disrespect to boxing. And you got all the people making excuses. Oh, it's big money. It's big money. So when the other people do it, have that same energy. That's what I'm saying. Don't make no excuses because it's Canelo. I'm not one of them people that hate on Canelo, but I'm also not with the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I'm also not with the nonsense. He clearly took the easier route with this deal. No question. And for those that you know, when you tally up the deals, PBC put up $100 million for Benavidez and Charlo. The Zone put up $85 million for Bivol and Triple G. But also what came with it, they gave him a side deal for promotional. I think they're gonna change that structure. They said no pay-per-view. I think they're gonna give him them 2 fights on the Zone gonna be pay-per-view. I mean, they basically said, man, you can own half of the Zone just to fight these 2 guys, and we're gonna give you a so-so fight with Bivol, and then you give you a tomato can and a washed-up Triple G. That's an easy deal to make. I can't be mad at Canelo. And then he come out on social media and said that all the rest of the guys got to fight each other. He wins. He wins. You know what I mean? He wins. So I can't knock him. That's me. Hey, it's a business of boxing, which politics goes on all the time. You know what I mean? Politics go on all the time. Politics have always been going on. Because like listen, a lot of times people come out and be like, oh, this never went on back in the day. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. This type of stuff been going on in boxing forever. Yes, it did. It did happen back in the day. It did. You know what I mean? Fights didn't happen back in the day. People had political agendas in boxing back in the day. Yes, it did. It's been going on since the days of the 70s. Yes, it did. Yes. Like we did a film study yesterday because we do film studies now. Now, whenever y'all listen, if it's certain fight that y'all want to see reviewed or whatever, and or we got different views of the fight, we hit the lab and we study the fight. So yesterday's film study, we took it back to took it back to the 80s, and we watched Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. You know what I mean? And in that fight, like I said, look at this, the politics in that fight. Sugar Ray hadn't been in the ring in 2.5 years. Marvin Hagler hadn't fought in a year and a half. Now, I want y'all to think about that. Now, can you imagine the 2 biggest names in boxing hadn't been in the ring in a year and a half, and the other one hadn't been in the ring in like 2.5 years. But yet they came together, and it was the biggest fight of the year. And at the same time, Sugar Ray Leonard made them change the length of the fight from 15 rounds to 12. He made them fight in a smaller ring, and they fought with more padding in their glove. That's politics. All these things change the outcome of a fight. Not mad at him. DMV stand up. He did with his thing. He got the dub. When we looked at the film study, we all agreed that Sugar won the fight. But again, politics and all that kind of stuff been going on. We've been waiting for fights since the 70s and 80s. It happens. Stop complaining. Get ready for this buffet of fights that's coming up in April. Like I said, we got a gauntlet. You know, closing the month out with Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez, Tyson Fury versus Dylan White. You got in the middle of the month, right smack in the middle, Ugas versus Earl Spence. Hey, enjoy it. We got good fights. You know, Michaela Mayer, she's got a nice fight coming up. Hopefully that leads to, didn't they fight a bit? Yeah, much bigger ring. Much bigger ring. Much bigger ring. That's what I'm saying. That, like I said, people, my point for bringing it up is because people act like these type of negotiations and these type of things being put together in boxing matches just started. No, this been going on forever. This been going on forever. Just that now that we got social media, people hear about these things more now than they did back in the day. But it always been there. It's always been politics in boxing. It's always been people putting people in what you'll say, taking competitive advantage of their status. You know what I mean? That's always been going on. It's nothing new. Nothing new. Fights didn't happen back in the day. Fights don't happen now. It's always been there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We waited 3 years and some change for Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. You know, and 2.5 of those years, Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't even in the ring. He wasn't even fighting. Like I'm saying, Sugar Ray Leonard fought a fight in 1984 and came back in 87 and fought Hagler. Without nothing. Came straight off the street and fought Hagler in 1987. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Marvin Hagler hadn't been in the ring since 85. But this is the biggest fight of that particular year, and it's one of the biggest fights ever. But look how that went together. See what I'm saying? And we sitting here complaining over some Earl Spencer and Terrence Crawford because the fight didn't happen in 2-3 years. Come on, man. Knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. But it's going down December 2022 at the end of this year. But would y'all be mad? I'm asking something. Would y'all be mad if Keith Thurman beat Bud and Ugas beat Earl? Would you be mad? Would you still watch the fight? Would you still watch the fight? Would you watch Ugas versus Thurman for Undisputed? Would you do it? That ain't gonna happen though, but that's boxing. That's why you fight the fight. That's why you fight the fight. You know what I mean? You got in the month of May, you got Rolly and Tank. Don't look like a lot of people really buying into that fight. It's a lot being said on Twitter. You know, Tank talking about this is his last fight with them, and he may be going elsewhere. And Floyd sent the, I love you like a son tweet yesterday. So I don't know. I think they may be trying to just make people fight this could be all PR tactics to make people watch the Rolly fight even more attentive just to see what he said at the end of the fight. Who knows? Who knows? But I mean, listen, the Rolly fight is going to be exciting while it lasts. It'll be fun while it lasts. Because Rolly's going to come out there and try to knock Tank out, and he's going to swing wild and swing for the fences. And I just think somewhere part around the 5th or 6th round, he's going to leave one of the punches out there too long, and he'll see the ring lights. He'll be looking up at the ring lights. So that's my prediction for that one. But it'll be fun while it lasts because, like I said, Rolly will fight. He's going to fight. You know what I'm saying? He's going to fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's going to fight, he's going to swing, he's going to rumble, he's going to bang and do all those kind of things. So that'll be that. You know what I mean? Well, my friends, my brothers, family members, and all supporters of Let's Talk Sports and everything else, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me today. Gonna keep it short and sweet today, man. You know, it's a lot going on, so keep it short and sweet today, man. And like I said, I appreciate the support. Appreciate all you doing. Shout out to the Black Eye Media Room. Shout out to Punch by Punch Boxing on IG. Shout out to All Call Outs Mandatory on IG. Also, my boy Basement Boxing Talk on YouTube, and also he's part of the Boxing to DC group. Boxing to DC, we're bringing a lot more people through. You know what I mean? Got a whole lot of more members, brought some more fighters into the group and all that. So as this thing started to, steamroll a little bit, we're going to get more footage from actual fights. You know, we working on, you know, doing more creative content. Like I said, got some hot interviews in the pipeline, just waiting for them to come through. You know what I mean? Also, shout out to all the Russell brothers. You know what I mean? My man Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I mean? Put me in a couple of his videos the last few weeks and the last few months. So shout out to Twan. You know, I've been rocking his merch, rocking the merch. And the merch is nice, man. So if you want some good merch, man, just go to, you know, Polo Twan, Gary Antoine Russell page. Hit him up, man. Reasonable prices, good quality. Say less, man. Shout out to my man Smoke TV, Smoke With Me TV, who came in too. He also got merch. You know, he you know, World WBA WBA champion Jamie Mitchell wore it in the ring. You know what I mean? That's what's up, man. So this is what we doing, man. But, you know, as for now, you know, I'm going to go take care of the family, do some things. Also, shout out to All Nations DC. You know what I mean? Had a beautiful outreach this weekend in down in Southeast DC, Northeast DC, over in Brooklyn Manor. You know what I mean? You know, Pastor JJ Harrison sung so good that it started snowing and raining. And then when he got on the stage, the sun came out. So y'all be blessed, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Be blessed, man. You know what I mean? You know, hug somebody, love somebody, and all that, man. We out, man. Peace.